Today I'm chatting with Ian Ryan, Headmaster of Rondebosch Boys Prep, and thank you for making this time, Ian. And while COVID-19 obviously has had a huge impact on education and I'm sure on your school, at the same time we're in this context with Black Lives Matter and how that is impacting schools very directly. And I'd be interested to hear, how have you been responding to that as a leader, as a school? What have you been addressing?
Yeah, Paul, obviously it's a very sensitive issue, and all of us have our own thoughts around that. And with our high school, our brother school, the high school being impacted hugely, the school across the way being impacted hugely. As a school, I wanted to be proactive. I don't want to be reactive. And it was very, and for me personally, everyone matters. I care about every staff member at my school and every boy and every parent. And I wanted to look at an approach that was slightly different. Over the years, I've listened and sat through many of talks around transformation and diversity. After a week, it would just dissipate. It would disappear, and it meant something then and impacted then, but it never continues. And I wanted to look a bit differently. And after having conversation with my staff, we felt that we as a staff want to change that. So I've had conversations with my people of color on my staff community, and every one of them want change. They all want to be impacted, but they don't want to be looked at differently. So we're busy putting together a situation where we want to have conversations. We want to share our little stories with the rest of the staff. And just as we share our stories, other staff, white staff, share their stories. Because it's only together that we start understanding each other that we'll actually have a true impact in the classroom. And how we teach and how we approach our boys, how we approach parents. And that to me is vitally important.
You refer to little stories, and yet they're so significant.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to put this question out there, and feel free to respond how you want to, Ian. But is there anything of your story that you would just briefly would be able to share with us as to what it's been for you journeying in this way?
Yeah, Paul, as I shared with my parent community in a newsletter, we shared tolerance. And I shared a snippet of my experience, having grown up with a white dad and a colored mom, mixed marriages, and how difficult that was when your dad takes you during the summer break. He takes you on the train drive, and you were not allowed to travel on first class. The ablution areas that you used, why couldn't I go into that one, Dad? And my dad and mom never always had the answers. But the one thing they taught us was everyone was equal and we treat everyone fairly, and how we begin to tolerate each other. So those experiences, and I can give you tons and tons more, but those two experiences really stand out when you have a sister with blonde hair, green eyes, and myself. And we come from the same parents, and yet treated so differently, just going on a train ride many, many years ago. And that has changed, but those stories has impacted my life. I may not be walking around with a chip on my shoulder, or wanting to take out the daggers and the knives, but I'm wanting to make a difference. And through those stories and those experiences, I'm wanting to impact other people's lives, the staff I have, so that they look at me and say, Ian, actually, I didn't know that. I didn't know those things happen, and some of them didn't.
Thank you, Ian. And I know you, and it's wonderful to see the way in which you are leading your staff, just talking today. And I really trust that as you continue in these next difficult months, we don't know what lies ahead, but it's wonderful to see you stepping into your authority and leading, and I wish you all the best in that.
Thank you, Paul.